for a good cause.
Hi, everyone. It is Lindsay with the Action Hour. And this beautiful lady that I have here is a journalist. Her name is Silvana Andrade, J. Andrade. She's going to tell you how to say her last name. But the point is, she is the founder of ANDA, which is the Animal Rights News Agency. It's the first Latin American animal rights news agency, and she is making history. But today she is here. Very urgent reason. The Amazon and the Pantanal are on fire as we speak, and nothing is being done. Silvana, welcome and thank you for coming on. Please tell us what's going on there.
First of all, I would like to thank you for give us this beautiful, important space, and I'm saying thank you in the name of all Brazilian activists as well.
Oh.
So we are living the last 5 months in a hell in Brazil because the Amazon forest is burning in the Pantanal as well. We already lost more than 25% of the Pantanal. And it's a
25%.
huge, yes, it's a huge wetland area, the largest, in fact, wetland area in the world. And we already lost hundreds of thousands of animals and many species of plants. It's the how can I say, a historical tragedy in Brazil. It's like never before the Pantanal is burning.
I want to show a quick little map. Just stay with that thought. I'll be right back. Let's just show a video.
Fires.
Wow. Tell us what we just saw. Tell us the area that covers, because we couldn't really see it on, from.
Yes. That area is Pantanal. So we already the area of the jaguars is almost all the area is devastated. 95% of the jaguar area is it's gone, is destroyed by the fires. And it's so sad, the images. And now the situation is a little bit better because we are in the rain season, just because the rain, not because of the government, federal government, or the government of the state of Mato Grosso and Mato Grosso do Sul. Scientists and biologists said that around 30 species were extinct because of the fire. 30 because of the fires.
Extinct because of the fires.
Because of the fires, and hundreds of species of plants. It's a huge impact for the climate change. The cities close to the Pantanal this year reached 7% of humidity. Can you imagine? It's lower than in the desert. And the situation,
go ahead.
yes, was not worse because of the activists and some people who lived there. And the activists went there with bucket and tried to put off the fires.
So activists were trying to put out the fires, but what about the government? What about the officials? What about what's going on? They were not trying to put the fires out?
Yes, no, they didn't anything. Just recently, some soldiers went there to put off the fires. But in September, the worst month, the soldiers, the militaries were doing war activists, and then and the fire was like growing Pantanal and the Amazon. And why? That's why ANDA is suing the federal government
Uh-huh.
for omission, and we suing the Supreme Court. I know we are so like little, they are very powerful and dangerous,
Yeah.
but we need to do, and we are suing them.
And you need support for this. We want to just say that if people want to help out with this movement to save the Amazon, we're going to be asking our wonderful monitor, Paige, to put up the address for the GoFundMe page, which I think you shared with both of us today. So she should have that. And if she doesn't put it up, I will put it up. But we do want to give people an opportunity to donate. And where would that money go if they donate, Silvana? How would you be able to use that money?
We have workers on NANDA. We have a staff, huge staff, and we need money to run. We have like lawyers and
So how
public
many
civil
people work
action.
with you? Give us the scope of your organization.
Oh, yes. We have journalists because we post around 40 articles a day, 35 or
Oh,
40
wow.
articles a day. We have a process like civil public actions against federal government, against states, against to help animals, against companies as well. And we have administration, financial people working for under like accountability, accountant,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, around 10 people working for us.
Wow. Well, they're doing a lot of work because I sounded to me like a huge staff, but you have 9, which is a good, I mean, it takes a lot to fund that staff, but you guys are doing a lot for 9 people. You're doing a lot of good work. And, you know, it's always the David that conquers the Goliath. When the Goliath is corrupt, it's easy to topple them because what you're doing is putting the word out. Tell us the mission of your organization, if you would. I know that was in your notes here. Can you tell us why you started, why you founded your organization? Anda.
Yes, I found Anda 12 years ago because the journalists didn't cover at that time about animal rights or facts about animals. And I decided as a journalist to found ANDA to inform my colleagues and also to respond to society about what is happening with animals. And we also do conferences, and we publish 3 books, and we do
What are the names of the
events,
books?
cultural events, and the
The books
sport
are in
events.
Portuguese. The books are in Portuguese.
Yes, in Portuguese. Yeah, in Portuguese. And
Okay.
we do cultural events, and we went to the court, we sue governments, we do everything. Our core is journalism, but sometimes we need to go to the court in defense of the animals. And we have been suffered the last 2 years many threats. Our
Yeah.
website is in this moment offline because we are suffering 15 million cyber attacks a month, and we need to do a new website. We have now support of Cloudflare because they saw how many cyber attacks we are suffering a month, and they give us a service. And yes, and we are trying to keep working for the animals online. But I think this week or next week we'll be online again. But and threat against us. And now we're in the Supreme Court, and the attacks will be more will be stronger.
Oh,
from
now
them.
because you're going to court, you'll begin to get more attacks again.
Yes,
But you
yes,
feel
and
like
other
that you have
things.
a stronger engineer to build a better firewall for you to keep you from getting bro- broke into. Let me ask you a question though.
Yes. Okay.
There's a site here called Anda that I was going to share. I believe that you gave it. Can I show you the screen share of it? Let me just show you here. Is this not your organization?
It's anda dot. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because
It's
you said the website is down. I'm confused.
no, because it's in English, but we don't have money to pay for people rights on under in English, and it's we are not like writing new
Oh, it's not
articles.
currently up to
It's
date.
not, yeah, it's not working. It's not updating in the because we don't have money to pay,
And it's
and
so important that you do get funds in order to keep this going. So we are actually
yes,
going to be doing a fundraiser, and that's why Paige is here today with us. We're going to be bringing her on a little bit later, but we want to go more into the story of how this could happen. Now, previously, before the most recent time, was the government more cooperative in protection of the and conservation? Were they more diligent about it? Was this a change with the change in government, or is this something that is historical with Brazil?
well, we have a problem with environment in Brazil because our government is it's not so good for the animals and the environment. But this government, is like extreme, like far right, is the worst in our history. And so in this moment, this year, we already have 95,000 fires in Amazon forest. Just this year, 95,000 fires. So we are lost in a minute, like a soccer field per minute
Oh
in
my
Amazon
gosh,
forest. It's
that is so frightening.
unbelievable. Yes, unbelievable.
And
And
nothing is being done. Nothing. Let me.
yes, no,
Nothing.
nothing, nothing, nothing.
The fires are
And
not being put out or attempted.
yes, no, no, nothing, nothing. And we already reached the turning point in Amazon. So Amazon start to be a savanna, you know,
Will it
because
ever come back?
nothing is, no, no. Some points, no. No, we are having like setbacks in Brazil, environment in the area of environment, and in Amazon is like a huge tragedy, as like in Pantanal as well. But
Why isn't this publicized on mainstream media more? Why isn't this brought out that there's fires going on every day in Brazil? Why don't we hear about it?
yes, the media, international media, is covering. But the situation, local situation, is worse than they are talking. But the Guardian, the New York Times, and other media's outlets are covering and denounce. But we don't know how to do because we don't have um, instruments. We don't have power in Amazon. In Pantanal, we tried, but in Amazon forest, it's more difficult. And it's very ironic because some companies like, you know, Unilever, like
Unilever, yeah.
Unilever,
Mm-hmm.
yes, are like beside united with activists for the Amazon forest.
Really?
It's yeah, really, it's environmental
Well, if that's the case,
activists.
why don't we hear more about it in America? Because I know that there was the Guardian and the Times, but it's not the way it's. I mean, this is a fire. What do they say about the Amazon? It's considered the lungs of the earth because of
Yeah.
so much of how it. Can you go into that and explain that for a moment? Because we want people to see how dire. I mean, it doesn't have to be dire. It doesn't have to be dire, but how serious this is. And we're going to talk about how it affects human health in a moment. But can you talk about why it's called the lungs of the planet for us?
Yeah, because it's the largest area, and we have like a balance for the oxygen in the planet, and also we have rivers in the air. I don't know how to say in English, but they bring for us like humidity, and they balance all the climate, especially in Brazil, but also in the world. And because of that, we have now more deforestation is causing more
Global warming.
diseases, global warming and diseases, and new pandemics and new diseases in Brazil. We have problems with the climate is every year drier and drier. The species are disappearing, is in extinction, and the people who lives there have been like murdered. Indigenous people are losing their areas. It's like a tragedy for everybody.
Huge tragedy. So the indigenous people are being driven out or killed if they don't leave, or if they're in conflict with these groups that are the government is apparently protecting. It appears. There seems to be evidence, and it seems like they're investigating this one individual that is a close associate of the government. That was an article we saw today. Not today. You can tell us when that came out if I can find it. Here we go. So this is a close ally to the president. That doesn't prove anything related to what we're talking about, but it makes you wonder why suddenly the upsurge in a lack of enforcement of the environmental protection. It sounds like it might be some sort of cooperative thing going on to get rid of the forest.
Yeah, the problem is not just the forest, it's all environment in Brazil, because they are trying to stimulate miners, hunters and the farmers and the animal agriculture in Pantanal, in the Amazon forest. So they say, just put fire. Bolsonaro said this year that the fires in Amazon forest were like stimulate for him. So they said this. It's it's
Wow. It's not even hidden. Not even hidden.
It's a crime. He needs to be judged by the international tribunal, penal tribunal. So, and we have our mangroves and sandbanks in very dangerous moment, because the environment minister, Ricardo Salles, just said, no more rules, no more laws to protect these areas. And now they said that it is possible fishing in Fernando de Noronha, which is a protected area. You can't fish there, but now it's okay. So everything in Brazil needs to go to the court to try to save and protect environment and the animals. It's very tiring moment here for all activists, especially small groups or animal rights groups, because we don't have like money, and you need to do everything but we need support, like from not just with money, but stand with us, and activists from US and Canada and other countries.
Yes.
Because we need voice for us.
And the story needs to be communicated. We want to ask people to share this video. That way, that is a way you can help. Make a donation. I think I was watching a broadcast from Jane earlier, as a matter of fact, Jane Velez Mitchell, and she was saying we can all give up at least something, like a cup of coffee in the morning, you know, like that's like, if you gave that up for a week, that's a, you know, and make a donation. So there's things we can do, particularly now during the pandemic, that we can't even do anymore. We haven't been doing, like going for coffee on the way to work. So maybe you have a little extra money that you can donate. And if you can't do that, or if you can do that in addition, you can share out this story. You can go to the website. You can spread the story around. You can go to this Facebook page, like it, comment. Do you have an Instagram page as well? We'll list that.
Yes, it's Under News on Instagram. And I'm sorry about my black circles.
Oh, don't be
because
so.
oh my god, I'm
Beautiful
exhausting. You know, I'm really exhausting. Sleeping 4 5 hours a day, working like crazy. 18 16 17 hours a day from Monday to Monday, you know. It's yeah, and we need to be united. I was talking.
Let's show some more pictures of what the devastation. Let's show a little bit more of that. So you can talk through these if you'd like. These are from The Guardian. I'm just going to show the destruction. This, I don't know if people can see very well. It's the foot of an animal. Can you tell us what that animal is? I've never seen one before.
Oh, it's like the paws are burned. You know, it's just a close pictures of the paws, and I'm not sure what animal it is. You know, this is a crocodile. The river is dry.
The river's dried up, and the crocodile is dead in the river. That is
yes. They were like they died. They burned alive. The animals, and this crocodile as well, for sure.
Here's a whole bank of crocodiles, and there's no water, or very little water there.
Yes, very little. Probably they are dead. They are dead, probably. You know.
I don't know if people here have seen these.
Yes, yeah. Birds are like escaping from the fires.
They don't have any land. They don't have their, I think they're flying over. It said they were flying over. And then this is the most horrific, to see an animal obviously burned alive.
Yes, burned alive.
It's just
so sad, so sad.
And this picture is a little bit harder to see, but it's a heron bird trying to drink water out of very dirty looking, with the water very low. Well, it's probably filthy, because all the soot and everything is filling all the little water there is. I mean, those animals.
Yeah, many animals died from like thirst.
This is
hungry.
Them feeding some hyenas, I think.
Yes, it's a kind of, it's called here lobo-guará. It's a kind of wolf, Brazilian wolf. It's called
beautiful
lobo-guará. Yeah.
Sad. And then I think we have a fox here, or a raccoon.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, fox. And jaguars. Jaguars.
More than 12%, or 16,500 square kilometers, have already been burned.
And that time, because now it's more than 25% of the area in this moment.
This article was written a few months ago, right? Oh, that's so scary. It's all going to be gone soon.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, this should be the top of the news.
Yeah. The world needed to talk more about
the president being elected, because it's, but we will run this story again, because this is really, I mean, when you see the this is like, we don't see this here. This is a macaw, which is a bird that is similar to parrot, a larger version, and looks like they have nowhere to land, nowhere to go. And then here, I guess some of the ranchers are trying to save the cattle. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense. Doesn't that also destroy the cattle when they start the fires, or they don't care?
Yeah, they are destroying ourselves, because I think thousands of cattle, cows, and other animals just died because of the fires. Thousands, and we have images. We could record some cows trying to escape, running, from the fires, running. But
oh my God. This man's truck is on fire. The truck could explode.
You can't breathe. And, you can't. You need to be distant and try to rescue and save animals far from the fires, because it's impossible get closer.
It's just incredible. And then we have a picture of an indigenous woman, how devastated. You can imagine these people, their whole lives have been stolen. It's just incredible how,
Yeah, it's so sad. They are dying from the fires and from the COVID-19. Just recently the government started to send teams and doctors to the indigenous areas, but hundreds of them already died, and chiefs as well, and some were killed from hunters. The situation in Brazil is unbelievable. If I say something, will be a little what is really happening here. You can't imagine it. No one can imagine. No one. I have some pictures from satellite, and showing the Amazon forest. The center of Brazil is completely red. Just fires, In 10 months, 95 focus fires. It's kilometers and kilometers of hectares is burned and is gone. And we will need maybe 50 years to recover this area. 50 years at least.
Let me show now a film, a short little video, not too short, that was put together about this whole situation and how it affects humans, because most people are just saying, well, it's just some animal.
As the Amazon burns, the smoke poisons its people. Brazil has laws that are meant to protect the rainforest, but since President Jair Bolsonaro took office in 2019, enforcement of those laws has been negligible, and destruction of the Amazon rainforest has surged to levels unseen in a decade. During his first year, government data reveals an increase of 85% in forest loss. Fires in the Amazon's verdant rainforest are not a natural phenomenon. Deforestation is followed by fires deliberately set by people looking to clear the land for agriculture, cattle grazing, and real estate speculation, among others.
Viver uma temporada de queimada ou de incêndios florestais aqui na região da Amazônia realmente é marcante, né? Você sente o ar pesado, então o impacto é geral, é fauna, flora e ser humano, todo mundo sofre.
In the last 35 years, more than 500,000 square kilometers of rainforest have been razed, most of it illegally. A Human Rights Watch investigation uncovered how the state is letting criminal mafias get away with destroying the rainforest, and the repercussions have been disastrous. In 2019, more than 5,500 square kilometers were burned. By April 2020, There were already a total of 4,500 square kilometers of deforested land that could be burned during this dry season. And despite the government claiming they were now clamping down, the razing and fires continue.
Explain what razing is, that term, please, Silvana.
Sorry, I was thinking about Amazon rainforest, and
Razing.
it's like a knife in my heart every time I saw images, every time I talk about. So in Brazil, we have problem since Bolsonaro was elected, because it's like all bad people are empowered in this moment, and don't exist laws, and this increasing tax in Amazon forest and Pantanal and everywhere in Brazil. So if
Tax?
you
Did you say tax?
Attacks with farmers, shrimp farmers in Pantanal, in sandbanks, in everywhere, cattle industry, miners, and they are like doing everything you can't imagine. Oh, illegal. No, nothing is more illegal in Brazil, because we can just do, and it's okay. Just an example, this year, they just give one fine in Amazon. One fine. 1,015, but we have 95 fires in Amazon this year. So it's not, and before they used to take the how can I say, like instruments and equipments, that used to cut the trees and they put fires. But now it's okay. You can stay with equipment, no problem. And just one fine was give to a farmer. It's like, oh.
Let's watch the other half of this video.
The smoke from burning forests contains a mixture of toxic pollutants, including fine particulate matter known as PM 2.5, which can penetrate the lung barrier and enter the bloodstream. Our research estimated 2,195 hospitalizations for respiratory illnesses in 2019 were associated with exposure to these toxic pollutants from the fires. These included more than 1,000 patients aged 60 or above, and almost 500 infants under 1. Doctors fear the patients they see are just a tiny fraction of those falling seriously ill from the fires. Indigenous people in Brazil are particularly affected by the fires and often live far from medical care.
E aí a gente precisa começar a pensar de forma mais potente acerca de como esses processos que incidem sobre a Amazônia refletem na vida dos habitantes dali.
COVID-19 makes the situation even more dangerous. Brazil's health system is already struggling to cope with the COVID-19 pandemic, and doctors say the fire season will endanger even more people.
Seria entre contato com a fumaça e agrava a doença respiratória, ele é obrigado a se deslocar para um serviço de saúde, que já está estrangulado. Se você coloca em risco, aqui é um caso simples de bronquite, então muita gente que não tinha Covid vai para o serviço, por isso é o grande medo, e quando chega no serviço, se não tinha, passa a ter.
These devastating effects can be prevented. Authorities should stop the deforestation and fires that are the source of the toxic haze. And they need to take action now to protect the rainforest and to enforce safe air quality standards to protect the lives and health of millions in the Amazon region.
Wow.
Yeah, everything is true. But it's, and we have more, because the effects will be like felt for you in California and in
Well,
rural,
yeah,
rural.
people have to recognize that what's happening is going to affect everyone's health, that this
Yeah.
is a human rights issue, it is an environmental issue, it's an animal rights issue. They're all tied together. Now, we want to talk about what we can do to help. I'm going to ask Paige to come on now because we do want to promote that we have a wonderful event coming up. So, Paige, let's see if she can come on now. I'm going to add her to the stream. Hi, Paige.
Hi.
Thanks
So,
for coming on.
absolutely. And this is a sign by which I held up a year ago in front of the consulate of Brazil to bring about awareness for the Amazon burning. And when I heard Silvana speaking at the Up Convergence with Dr. Sailesh Rao, it reminded me that I had this poster and the devastation by which she's talking about, which is the largest wetlands in the world, which is recognized by UNESCO, which is based out of Paris, which recognizes places of which are environmental inspirations around the world, UNESCO. And
Right.
the Pantanal is one of those places. So when I heard about the devastation of the jaguars and the alligators and the other, what is it, like 7,500 different species, something around there that are being affected, it hit me that here in America, here I was fighting for the lungs of the planet. This is all intertwined. So even though we may not see it in our neighborhoods here in the United States or in New Zealand or Australia, whoever's watching, wherever they're watching, it is affecting the overall climate challenge that we are dealing with right now. And science shows that, scientists and mainstream media is actually reporting on the fact that we are in a crisis. For the first time in this past year, Greta Thunberg, the young people of the world are speaking up saying, we're going to strike and not go to school. We need changes. And the fact that this is happening across the globe, but is going to have an effect on us, whether we know it or not, it is affecting us. It is going to have a massive effect. And one thing that Silvana pointed out is how are we going to recover from this? That's what has touched me so much, is that this is it feels so permanent. How can we recover and bring back these species? David Attenborough just put out a film that is a call for help. And if you have not seen it yet, the name is escaping. It's a Life on Earth. It's called A Life on Earth. He is begging people. Now, one thing I haven't heard per se, and I want Silvana to address this if she will right now. We are putting together a fundraiser, which we're going to talk about momentarily. But Silvana, why is Bolsonaro burning? What's going on? And how does this affect each person's bite in their mouths? Take it away.
Yes, we have like a huge problem with cattle industry, animal agriculture in Brazil, because they are very proud. Oh, we are the first, country with production of animals, but they don't think about our future and the future of the new generation, their own, family. Because in Brazil, if you put, the count, okay, how much cost the cow, the kilo, 1 kilo of meat, just cost $10 for example. But if you put inside the environmental costs, will be around 100,000 because the destruction will destroy the own animal agriculture soon. You know, you were talking about scientists, and the panel of United Nations, 22 scientists already said, if continue deforestation, the world, especially in the Amazon, we will have almost 2 million new virus in the cities, because the virus will, it's like a migration, from the forest, migration from the forest to the cities, so a huge impact of our health, so public health, so economy. We are seeing, doesn't matter economy if you don't think about environmental, and the all species habits here, no human, animal. So please, the government needs to be more intelligent. It's not just about what you want, because Bolsonaro here.
Right.
Yeah.
But people need to, as individuals, have to stop eating meat.
Eating meat, please, because
so important. We have to stress that one.
You need to have consciousness, because now we can choose for our conscience, but in some years now will be like no choice, So this jaguar, I have this one because I love, and in Brazil it's almost extinct now.
Yes.
Because animal agriculture, and people just want to, is very selfish and just want in your plate, and oh no, I like meat. No, you can like what is better for everybody, for the planet, for you and your family. You need to have like conscience. No, stop to eat meat, please, now, because we are already in the turning point. Even if we stop it here, the next 30, 40, and 50 years will be very, very bad. But, but please just stop. You don't need, we have like options, ethical options, substitution for meat and all, animal products.
Yeah.
And,
Silvana, I wanted to say that I love what Dr. Roache says about it. Somebody the other day, I was sharing a video from Jane Unchained on another platform called Rizzle, and somebody, you can respond with a comments, and that's and they come on and said, well, you shouldn't shame people about. I said, well, I'm not shaming, I'm just presenting the facts. But I like what Dr. Roache said. He said, well, if you were in a house and there was no escape and there were others in the house, and they were starting fires, wouldn't you ask them to put those fires out? Is that a matter of choice, or is that a matter of survival? And that's the key. Go ahead, Paige.
I just wanted to show this again because, again, it is about standing together, Lindsay, just what you said. And if your house is on fire, as Greta Thunberg, so passionately was expressing around the world last year, is you knew people were still putting, fuel on the fire, you would say, stop. And I that's what I feel that this is happening, and that we have it as our own rights and duties as human beings to help those who are suffering. And that is what brought Lindsay and I together to create a musical fundraiser. And I want to actually, talk about that, because that is happening on November 15th. Because I think the thing of it is that we as human beings, we want to help. Those that are watching this show, we want to help. We want to, and so, you're 5, you're 10, you're 15, you're 25, you're 30, whatever it is. And there's a link there, your difference that you can make. And I wanted to point out our headliners for our event is this beautiful organization, this group called the New Human wake up experience. And they launched their video, which we're going to see live. They launched it on 10/10/2020. So I just want to give a shout out to Jerry Drave, who created this beautiful artwork, and Evan and Rise, two amazing guys who are literally changing the world with their music and the art and bringing together as a collaborative. So they're the headliners. We have other musical inspiration. If you're a musician out there and you're a vegan, we may have one more spot. So please, in the comments, write down, you know, and we may do other fundraisers as well. I just want to say that. And we have a large goal because we do want to support them in staying the course. It's a lot of work. It's nonstop what they're doing. And they aren't able to hold down their full-time jobs because they're trying to get this information out, and they are out there actually saving animals and bringing them to sanctuaries, bringing them to veterinarians to save their burned paws and all the things that they're trying to do and are doing. So they're actually on the front lines. Those of us who go out onto the front lines and hold up our signs, you know, this is an opportunity to actually put your money right directly to people who are making an impact. LINDSEY.
Yes, I don't think we told them the date, which would be good.
November 15th. So it's a week from this Sunday, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
Yes,
Right
7 to 8:30. So we have an hour and a half. We may go that long. Depends on, you know, how it goes, but I think we're going to want to probably run the full time and have the performers perform. Maybe they'll do an encore for us. So if everybody comes in, that would be amazing, and that's one way you can help. Go ahead.
Just that I want to say, you know, we'll show some things that tonight has been presented as well, so people really get a full scope of Anda and the difference that Anda is making, and Silvana, who's heading up that, along with her amazing team, all that they're doing. You know, I wanted to invite on anyone who's listening, who, you know, that we brought up as far as or Bolsonaro himself, to please come on this broadcast and Gene Unchained News Network at any time to have a conversation with Baker, who's the host, as well as Jane Velez Mitchell. So I did want to mention that. So incredible.
We have a request here. That's very important that you mentioned that, Paige. Thank you. Is there a PayPal? Can they donate through PayPal?
My understanding is that it's the GoFundMe, and that is what has been set up. So that's the best way for the funds to go across to the other country to do the best work for them. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Any other questions from anyone out there? Anybody else in the audience have a question? Yeah, it is sad. We have some comments. It's sad. It makes me want to cry, my heart cry. Another one, where do we donate? So Rama Saber, where do we donate? So the GoFundMe is linked here for folks who want to donate, and for folks who see this later, because this is going to be circulating now. This is not just a one-time thing, and we do have the wonderful new opportunity on Roku where we get this out even more. But please help us pass this message along. You can really help. This is a dire situation that affects every single one of us. It isn't something that is far away. It's far away in distance at the moment, but it directly will affect us. It will come to our ear. It will affect everything, our food supply, everything. And it will never be able to be back the way it was again if we don't act now. Ladies, Silvana, what would you like
thank
to say?
you.
We're closing up our time here. We're down to just a few moments. What important things do you want to share to make sure everybody knows and hears when we put you forward?
I would like to thank you both girls, and all our audience, because in the name of Brazilian animals and the name of environment in Brazil, and also I'm sorry, I don't look good, I'm so tired, but we need to be united, because one day I can help in California or in another place in the US, in Canada, we need to be united with love, compassion for all beings in this planet. In this moment, is Brazil. We need, and all animal rights activists in Brazil need help from animal rights activists around the world. So stand with us. If you can't like contribute with money, but you can spread our articles or the news about Pantanal and the Amazon rainforest and what is happening here. And I say thank you with my whole heart, with my soul. I tried not to. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Oh,
And,
we hope we can help. We want to help so much. We really do, right, Paige? And
yeah.
please don't
And
feel bad. Go ahead.
And because animals need help here, but also environment and people, indigenous people, especially indigenous people in Brazil, they have been killed. The last year, 25 activists were killed in Brazil just because they were fighting for the forest, for the animals, and most of them were indigenous people. So women as well in Brazil, each 8 minutes, a woman is raped in Brazil, raped each. And 66,000 were raped last year in Brazil. And the Bolsonaro said, it's just like, it's a me, you know. So people, men are killing more women here. It's like a disaster in Brazil. So in my soul, it's like, sometimes it's difficult. I'm sorry, but I say thank you with my knees on the ground for everything you are doing, you know, for us here in Brazil.
Thank you so much for being on, Silvana. And we hope that we are sure the fundraiser, we're going to make this fundraiser, right, Paige? We are going to keep that. This is going to be an amazing fundraiser. We're going to raise money and we're going to help in any way we can. When you have digital, we love digital activism. So if you have petitions to sign or anything we can help with like that, I know you do a lot of legislation, things like that. So we want to be a support system, is right, Paige? We'd like to, not this is one time, but we will come back. Paige will do shows, whoever from our organization, we will support and try to help with this as much as we can.
We are together forever, and please can count on me as well. Just call me and I'll be with you anytime. Okay.
Helping. This is a tearful end to our show, folks, but with good reason. I mean, just look at some of those pictures. Please help with this. We can make a difference here. We really can. Let's get this out. I think getting the word out is super important because once people see this, this is going to explode. This affects every single one of us lives, our children's lives, our grandchildren's lives. And it's horrific if we let this happen. It's just horrific.
So come and join us on November 15th, 7 p.m. right here on Jane Unchained News. Lindsay and I will be hosting that event. We're very excited to bring you to a fundraiser, a musical event, and make an impact with your dollars. You can save on a coffee or a kombucha in my case, or a bottle of wine or whatever it is that you enjoy by just donating whatever you can. And then be sure to join us because that night's going to be, like I said, a lot of fun.
Donating too, by the way.
Yeah,
we'll all
exactly.
We'll all do our little part.
We can all do our part to support, the lungs of our planet. So thank you so much.
Right.
being
Think of
here
it
and
as your own
joining.
ones.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Paige.
Thank you.
Paige, you are the one that got this whole ball rolling, and there's
you.
a beautiful leopard. So, ladies, we're going to make this happen, and thank you so much for being on tonight. People watching, again, please share this out. Thank you so much for watching and supporting us. And there you go. Oh, gosh, the wake-up experience. We want everyone to have that. New human. Yes, can't wait for that video. That's going to, and that alone is enough. But wait till you see the rest of the show. So with that note, we're going to say bye-bye. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.